Getting into an accident isn't fun, but if it does, this is what you need to do. Make sure you're stopping at the scene. Even if you think it's your fault, don't drive off. You're gonna get yourself in way more trouble with the police if you do that. So the first thing you gotta do is making sure that you're stopping at the scene. I always thought that once you get into a crash, you have to get really angry, have an argument with the other person and say, it's your fault, didn't you see me? But one day I witnessed two people crash and they didn't get angry. I was sitting in my car and I saw the crash happen. I'm thinking, okay, it's about to kick off now. But then the guy, he came out of his car, looked at the other car and he was like, oh, are you okay? Is everything okay? How are you? And I was thinking, wait, is this a different way of resolving disputes when you get into a crash? So ever since then, if somebody crashes into me, I don't get angry with them. I just make sure that I'm okay, make sure my passengers are okay, and make sure that they're okay as well. And since I've been doing that, it's a lot less stressful. And when you do that as well, people are more likely to be willing to help you, especially if it's their fault. Which leads me to my third point, and that is, don't admit that it's your fault. Even if it is your fault, even if you think it's your fault. I used to hate this advice because I thought, if it's your fault, you should just tell the person, look, it's my bad, it's my fault. But the reason why you don't want to tell them that is because sometimes you don't know that it's your fault. You think it might be your fault, but actually it could be both of your fault. And sometimes you might think you're in the wrong, but then it turns out the other person's in the wrong. And if you admit that it's your fault straight away, the insurance companies are usually going to side with the other driver. So to avoid that, just don't say it's your fault. I know it sounds really scummy, but it's the best way going forward, especially in terms of insurance and getting everything sorted out. When you're talking about who's at fault and who's not at fault, the best way to get out of any arguments like that is having a dash cam. Now, I've had this for years now, and since having this camera, I've been involved in quite a few crashes where people have crashed into us on driving lessons or when I'm driving by myself, and I've not had to argue with anybody since I got this camera installed in my car. I'll give you an example. One of the last crashes I had, we were driving in the middle lane and then somebody came out of the side road and crashed into us, and then they were saying that we were in their lane as they turned. So I just pointed to the camera and I showed them, look, this is what actually happened here. And then I sent the footage off to the insurance company, and straight away, in less than a day, his insurance company said, we'll sort everything out straight away for you, so don't worry. This camera is a Nextbase 522 GW. It's a few years old now and it still works really well. But Nextbase have kindly sent me another one. And if you're one of those people who are environmentally conscious, they've also made sure it comes in an environmentally friendly packaging. So you've got a dash cam and it's recorded everything. The dash cam is not going to record the damage that's done to your car. So for this, you need pictures. You want to make sure you take nice pictures of the damage that's been caused to your vehicle and damage caused to the other vehicle as well, so that you can document exactly what the damage was. You don't want to do this in a dangerous way though. I've seen too many people, they get into a crash and then they're in the middle of a busy road and they're there busy trying to snap away and they're sticking out into the traffic. Don't do it like that, it's dangerous. If you need to, let's say you're in a position where the car is not in a safe place, once you've stopped, sometimes it might be better to move to a side road somewhere and then take the pictures, because you don't want to be doing that, especially on a busy dual carriageway where other traffic is still going by. You also want to exchange details with the driver of the other car that crashed into you or that you crashed into. And the details that you need would be their name and their insurance, and then take their registration number as well of the car, because that's also important. A lot of insurance companies, their policy is that you need to tell them, even if it's not your fault, even if you're not making a claim, you need to tell them that you were involved in some sort of crash. Don't leave this too long, because the sooner you start sorting it out, the sooner your car can get repaired, the sooner you can be back on the roads.